have resized all the photos now and everything. But as I said in my email, I can't quite get the behaviour of the galleries to do what I want them to do. And yeah, a bit of width, a bit of space between the columns and stuff.
Cool. Okay, so let's jump onto the screen share then. So okay. I think, what are we on, like week 4 or 5, something like that?
4. I'm not really sure. I'll have a look at some point.
Yeah, I think we're on week 5, but week 4 you skipped until the end. So I think this is the 4th week.
Okay, cool.
So let's jump on and have a look then. So obviously we've been coaching you for a few weeks now, and the site's looking pretty cool, isn't it? Like that's it looks better than the one you paid someone else to do, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I like it, yeah.
You know, that's really come on leaps and bounds. Amazing. Yeah, we're making progress. Good stuff. Okay, right. So first things I just want to very quickly tell you about, I may not have said, is obviously WordPress works on, there's 3 key bits of software to a WordPress website. Okay, so there's the core WordPress software, okay, which is obviously released by the organization WordPress, and that is all of the functionality to build the site. And then there's the themes, which is obviously how we style the site. And then there's the plugins, which we use plugins to extend the functionality of the website, okay? And all of them release periodic updates, okay? So there's updates when there's a security threat or a problem or something like that, they'll release an update, but there's also an update to extend functionality. WordPress has a roadmap that they work to, okay? So that they're always you know, consistently looking to improve their product. It's on WordPress 5.5 now, and what you'll find is that there's small kind of like incremental updates, which you know, won't necessarily contain a lot, but then there's what they call legacy updates. Okay, so a legacy update means that there's some real major changes gone on to the software, some real major changes behind the scenes. Okay, and in the last couple of years, WordPress has really moved on, really changed, and if you look at their roadmap, you can see where they're planning to take it. And then you've got the plugins who kind of release updates to keep up with WordPress. Obviously, if WordPress changes how something works, then the plugins have to change how something works. This can cause conflicts, okay? So it can cause your website to break. So the reason I'm telling you that is obviously you need to be aware of this. And WordPress 5.5, which I see you run the update. Did you run the updates the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah, so WordPress 5.5 is a big update. It's made some huge changes.
Ah, right.
So if you notice anything quirky, it can be that the plugins are behind the actual updates of WordPress.
Right, okay.
Or maybe WordPress should completely change direction, and sometimes the plugin, you know, maybe it no longer work. With plugins, obviously, you know, they're just made by developers. So like you or I could make a plugin if we wanted. And it's then up to us to keep it up to date. So what you'll find in the WordPress repository is loads of plugins that haven't been kept up to date, and they'll break your website. Okay, so just something to be aware of. But obviously, from a security point of view, yes, we probably do need to keep them bang up to date.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Just wanted to tell you that. Right, so let's start off by looking at the layouts then. So we're going to jump straight into Elementor. So I think you asked me a question in the week. Your container doesn't seem to do anything when I select box or stretch, etc.
Yeah, so I've done that in the sections now, but I just was interested to know what it was, because it didn't do anything when you're in the appearance menu.
Okay, so that's okay, fine. So that's just setting. So basically, in the appearance menu is all the theme settings, okay? So we're using the page builder settings, we're using the Elementor settings. So if we've set our page template to Elementor canvas or Elementor full width, which gives us the full width, then it'll override the settings in the theme, basically.
Yeah, okay.
So
I think maybe it might be easier if you go to a bit that confused me. The bit that I'm really annoyed with is if you go to wedding photography page,
which is the home page, is it?
No, the actual wedding photography. That one, yeah. Then, see, that's confusing. The gallery. Scroll down. Let me just see the gallery. Okay, that's really weird, because that hasn't been full width the whole time I've been editing it. It's not been full width. Or even when I got it stretched, it's still So I don't know why it's now not. Maybe it just took a while to update. I don't know. That's weird.
Well, look, this one is. But if we scroll down,
it hasn't been.
There's a second one here, isn't there?
Yeah. So just that's a different one. I'll come back to my question on that. But that's really annoying because all week I've been working on that and it hasn't been. Can you go to couples photography for me? Maybe it's the couples one that wasn't stretched. Oh, that is so annoying. They've all week they've looked different. I haven't been able to get them to look the same, but for some reason now they're looking the same. That's very annoying.
So there is I don't know if you've seen this icon here, this little diamond icon. This is the light speed cache. Okay, so sometimes if you're having trouble and what you've done hasn't updated on the front end of the website, you might just need to clear the cache.
Okay. All righty. So basically the behavior of the galleries, if we can go back to the wedding one again for me, if you wouldn't mind.
I'll tell you what, let's just work through because I've put them into a bit of an order.
Okay, right, fine.
Try and work with a little bit of structure, but
no, that's fine.
Let's quickly look on here. So let's see how you set it up. So what we've got here is a section. And are you using inner sections that we spoke about the other day?
No.
No. Okay. Right. Cool. Let's move on. Right.
Not intentionally, anyway.
No. Okay. So let's very quickly add a new page. Just a test page. I'm just going to show you about the layout stuff, remind you of that, and show you about the columns and stuff like that. Really, the kind of layouts, the kind of the starting point of your website is getting your layout right. For me, web or any design should be content led, right? So it should be based on the content we've got. So really collecting content is key and is what you should be doing first. You should get all your content together that you want to use, and then you design the page based on the content that's going to go on the page and the goals of the page, rather than the other way around. You just end up, just pulling things around and it just takes longer. And also design is not just decorating, it's not just splashing the stuff on a page. It's about what we're doing and why we're doing it. Right, so if we've got a brand new page, so we want to set a layout, okay? So first things first is click this plus icon here, okay, and we're going to select our structure. Now, I always select the first section, okay, just to be one column wide, and then I click this handle here, okay, and this opens up the section editor on the left-hand side where you can change all of the bits and pieces of the section, and I always set it to full width. Okay, you can click stretch as well. I don't know if you see, in fact, let me just change the color so we can see what we're doing. Just give it a background color. Okay, background color. Okay, and if we set, so I'm just going to change. So that's the section. That's the complete full width section there. And then the actual bit that's going to allow us to put content in it is going to be restricted by this box. Okay, so you can see this white box here. All right, so that is our section. Okay, so this is box. This is a boxed section. What I always do is just set it to full width. Okay, so click on the handle here, go to the edit section, go to the layout tab, click on full width, click on stretch section, yes, and you can see now that is a full width section. Okay, so right, what we do, okay, is we add an inner section into here, and this just allows us to have the most control that we can have, okay, of layout. Okay, so layout is basically the space around the elements. Okay, so it's margins and paddings. Okay, so let's just change this here so we can see. So let's give this, so I've now dropped a 2-column inner section into the outer section. I'm just going to change.
It defaults as 2 columns then, did it?
Yeah, it defaults to 2. It defaults to 2, but obviously you can right click this and add columns, or you can remove columns as you please. So you might just want a 1-column section in there, that's fine. But I always do this, and I'll show you why. So let's just change the color here of the background so we can see. I'll make that grey. Let's make this one a different color here. So just click on the handle on the left here. It takes us to edit column. We've got 3 tabs on edit column. We've got layout, style, and advanced. Okay, so layout, we can do the width. the vertical alignment, horizontal alignment, and then style, we can set the colors, any border and the typography that's going to work in this column. So I'll just set that to a green color there. Okay, right. So what you can see, you've got two columns side by side with no space. Okay, let's just drop a couple of elements into here. So I'm just going to put a heading in there. And I'll just change the heading color to white. Okay, and let's just drop a. In fact, let's duplicate. So if we can right-click this column, click on the right-handed label, right-click, duplicate. I've duplicated that widget. Drop it into the other side. There you go. Right, we've got two matching sections. Okay, so that's very basic layout, and it's not particularly sexy, is it? But what we can do, and the reason we do the intersection, is we can control the size of the intersection. So if I click their handle here in the middle, and now if we click on advanced, okay, we've got margin and we've got padding. Okay, so if we add some top margin here, let's give it 120, you can see it's added space of 120 between the inner section and the outer section. Okay, now padding, if I show you on this one, on the inner section, and if we want this full width, all we've got to do is click this handle, click on layout, and oh, that's not selected yet. Was not selected yet. In a bit. Oh yeah, click on the inner section here. Set that to full width. You can see that's now full width. Okay, so you've got the outer section, you can see here, and then you've got the inner section. Okay, and actually if you hover on the handle, it tells you edit section, hover on this one, edit inner section. Okay, so let's just quickly edit the section. So the margin has given it padding between the other elements. Okay, that's an external padding. And then if we set that's an external margin, as it's called. And then the padding, if we set the padding, you can see it's an internal, so that's inside the element. So that's the padding inside the section around the elements that are inside it. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you asked about getting space in between your columns.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what you need to do is you need to select the inner section.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, select the column.
Mm-hmm.
So the margins of the padding are on each element. Okay, so you've got margin and padding on any element in there. But if you want a gap between your columns, you select your column, click on advanced, okay, and we're going to set a margin. So let's set it to 10 pixels. There you go. You can see you've now got a white space. You may well want that to be consistent on both columns. What you can do is you can right click and copy. As well as copying the column, it also copies the style of the column. So we can now go and hover on the other handle on the right hand side, right click and paste style, and you can see it's added the padding. It's obviously changed the color because it does all of the style, but we can just change that back quite easily there. Okay, so that's padding. Okay, so padding gives space, white space around an element. Okay.
Yeah, so where I haven't been adding an intersection now, I've got, should I go back and add intersections to where I've done text, or
if you need them, if you need the control, if you need to be able to add padding or margin, then I always do as a matter of course, because it just gives us more control over the layout. And let's just add some, if we just edit the column again, and let's just add some padding, and let's add a bit more padding. So if we give it 50, say, you can see there, bang, it's giving it a lot more space. The margin is the space inside the element. The padding is the space in between elements, outside of your element you're adding the padding to. So that's pretty cool. Does that kind of answer that question?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Right, what was your next question? Okay, so what does the padding and the link icon actually do? Right, okay, so on the margin and the padding, on the right hand side, you've got this icon here that says link. There's a link icon, and if you hover on it, it says link values together. Okay, so basically, if that's grey, if that's ticked, that's selected, whatever you enter in one box will be replicated in all boxes. Okay,
yeah, I understand, yeah.
If you unclick it, you can put in independent paddings or margins in each box.
Okay. Understand it.
That's pretty straightforward. And
Yeah.
also here you've got a px and a percent sign, so you can basically set your margin to be in pixels or percent of screen.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I guess because margins weren't doing anything when I was messing with them, and that's because I didn't have the inner space. I guess I wasn't doing it properly.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to make sure you've got.
Yeah.
And obviously you can add that same margin and padding to any element, you know, so if you go to this text box here, you can add a margin. So if we had like 200, you'll see, you know, that's a huge amount of margin between that and the outside element. And again with the padding. So yeah, I think that should help you there. So I've made my column full width on about me and made the text not full width. How do I center it to the column? Okay, let's have a quick.
I don't even know what that means. Can't remember. What was it? What did I say? I've made.
Is about the about me.
Said... Yeah. Okay. So, read it again for me. Sorry.
About me. I've made my column full width and made the text not full width. How do I center it to the column?
I know. It was. Oh, okay, yeah, I've changed it now. The top one, the Hi Again Folks one, is one column. I had it as 2 columns, and I was trying to center that Hi Again Folks to the second column, but I gave up and just made it 1 column. And I think it looks better like that anyway, to be honest, because it's the same on every page.
Yeah. Okay. So you've dealt with that one, yeah.
Yeah, well, I just didn't need to do it in the end. Yeah, but maybe it'd be helpful to know if you had to. So maybe go to the test one again. If you had the test page, if you had, how do you center your text in that where you've got add your heading text? Yeah, how do you center it? I think.
Okay. So to center it, you literally click on the handle on the right hand side. And then there's under the edit heading content tab, there's an alignment box at the bottom here, which has got left, center, right, and justify. If you click that, it will center it.
Okay, all right, don't worry, I can't really remember what
I think if you would try, perhaps you were trying to, let's just change this text here that I've added to white. What do you think you would try if you had 2 columns like this?
Yeah.
Was you trying to center it across the 2 columns, maybe?
No, I don't know.
Because if you was, that kind of wouldn't be possible. You couldn't.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. No, I wasn't trying to do that. I don't remember. Don't worry.
If you wanted to do something like that, you could do that, but you would just have like 2 columns on the top and then 1 column underneath that stretched to 2.
Yeah, which is what I've done the other way around anyway now. So no, it's fine. Don't worry. Delete that one. Forget that one. I can't even remember.
All good. Okay. So let's move on then. So, okay, you've got some Elementor questions here. So the 2 photos on a landing page, the tops are cut off. How do I make them fit? Okay, so if we go to the home, was it the home page?
Yeah.
Here.
So his head, yeah, the second one doesn't look so bad now for some reason. That was up higher before. But yeah, I want to be able to move what is seen of the photo a little bit. So I would like his head to come down a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, okay, so let's click on edit with Elementor. Let's just have a look. So basically, most websites nowadays, you know, are responsive to the screen size. You know, so if we, oh God, where have we gone? This just disappeared. Strange. So as we change the screen size, then what's shown of the image will change. So it depends on which elemental element you've used to make this. But you can see here, like as the screen changes, then how much of the image is shown obviously changes.
Right.
So let's have a look. So what you've used is a slider. Okay, so with a slider, you've got less control of how the images are actually output, or at least with this default slider. So if you have a look under the slides, you can see here you've got under the size, you've got cover or contain, okay? So what cover will do is cover will make sure that the space is covered no matter what the screen size is. And what contain will do is it will contain it to the full size of the image, okay? So now we've got it on contain, and as you can see,
that's better.
It's going to constrain it, okay? So it depends. You can use contain. Let's try that and go to the front of the screen, front of the website.
Oh, I see. So that makes sense. Yeah. So the dimensions are a bit different now. So I'd have to contain all of them, wouldn't I?
You'd have to contain all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. No, I'd rather it with the space down the end and chop off the photo. So.
Yeah, because obviously as a photographer, you're going to be worried about rule of thirds and 10% headspace and all this kind of stuff, and worried that people are seeing that. Oh God, yeah. So just responsive images are always going to crop.
So contain is the one I'm going to need then, okay.
Contain, yeah, it maintains the aspect ratio. So let's drop that down as well. But you will find that's going to cause you issues as well, you know, because obviously you're going to need to make sure all of your images are the same, you know, 4x3 or whatever it is you shoot in.
Yeah, no, they will be, that's fine.
So then if we just have a quick look. Oh, how that deteriorates down to like mobile phone, for instance. But then you're gonna have this big space here. But we'll look at that and work that out when we get onto the mobile view.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So how should the galleries behave? Okay. Tell me about this, CJ.
So again, weddings or couples, if you preview them, what's the way to do it? So first of all, I don't like the size of the big image. The portrait images are too big and the landscape images are too small, and I can't figure that out. But also when you hover over it, look, they're graying out a little bit when you hover.
Yep.
I don't know what you should do there. And also when you click on it, it doesn't open into a big gallery like it did before. It doesn't open into a where you can.
Okay, this is quite easy. So let's click on edit with Elementor.
Yeah.
So the size of the images is determined by how many columns you've got, basically. So edit with Elementor, click the handle on the right, go into the edit gallery screen, and we can see here. Oh, you asked about lazy load as well. I'll tell you in a minute. Okay, we've got layout masonry, which is cool. You've got columns here, so yeah, you can give it like 4 columns or 5 columns. Yeah,
but the okay, yeah, see what it's doing.
It's got to kind of build that grid.
Yeah.
So I think there might be a better gallery that allows you to have bigger images in there. I'll have a look for you and see if there is one. But this one, yeah, this is the sort of stock one.
Maybe I need to put less portrait in there. It's losing the landscape images for me. It's not.
But think how most people are going to use it. Okay, so the thing is, you asked about the link, right? So in the edit gallery, we've got type, okay, single or multiple. You've got all your images you selected. You've got the order, whether it's random or default, lazy load, layout masonry. Well, masonry is a nice layout because if it's a grid, you can have loads of. It's just going to be like that, and it's going to crop into your images. And if you have justified, that's not bad actually. Actually, is that going to do what you want it to do?
I just don't like the size of the.
No, okay. Put it back on masonry.
Oh, that one was a bit better because
it was better for the portrait.
For the landscape, yeah.
And then link here, okay. So this is where you're going to select media file. You want the image to link to the media file. So if you select that,
right.
Now when somebody clicks on it, it's going to go to the actual image. And then under here, overlay, it's got a background. So we can turn that background off. And now when you hover on it, it's not going to show that grey overlay. Okay, but I think the thing with the overlay is if you want to have a title or description over the image, then you give it an overlay so you've got enough contrast that people can read it. But if you're not going to have that, then you don't need it.
Makes sense.
Update that.
So the only reason I've added 2 galleries is because I just wanted to have a call to action in the middle of the gallery. So I will make that second gallery look exactly the same as the first one.
Yeah.
I just thought it'd be nice to have like a little call to action in the middle of the...
Really good idea, really good idea. So now we can see, if we go to the front end, if we go and click on an image, and now you're browsing them a bit bigger.
Brilliant.
And
That's
obviously you've got the left and right icons. So I should imagine a lot of your guys that are going to look at your website, they're going to click on the first one, and then they're going to scroll through with their thumb on their mobile phone.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how you want it, right? Cool. Okay, so lazy load, basically, if you've got hundreds of images on a page, then that's going to take ages for the page to load. So what lazy load does is, rather than loading them all at once, it loads them as the page is scrolled. So you can see they're appearing here.
I understand, yeah.
It's an optimization thing to make your website faster.
Yeah.
So you want to use that, yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. My alarm's going off. I'm just going to go knock on the door of the kids. I'll be 2 seconds.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, Google, stop. Right, I'm back. Hopefully they actually get up.
Yeah, you'll be lucky. Right, cool. Okay, so yeah, that's that then. Just quickly,
I wouldn't mind having a look at, not now, but if you can add it to the list for the future, looking at some other styles of gallery then, just to...
Yeah.
But not now. We'll get everything kind of ready to go kind of thing first, I think.
Yeah. So just quickly, obviously I said about, copying and pasting the style of an element. You can do that on a section basis, right? But you can do that to any element. So if we copy this gallery style here, copy that, scroll down and paste that over, but make sure you paste the style rather than the element. If paste style, that's going to change that to the setting. Oh, is it on it? Yeah.
Oh, this...
Yeah, that's done it.
Why does it say all a new gallery at the top? Where's that come from? And it's not full width, is it?
No. So again, like, just to make sure you've got the same padding and all the rest of it, you can copy the section and then paste the style of a section as well.
Section. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Paste style. There you go. It's full width.
Brilliant.
So
those words, why are those words there?
Okay, so basically that's a filter. Okay, so if you had one gallery and you had your couples photography, your wedding photography, boudoir photography, and all in the same gallery, maybe business photography, then you could filter it basically, so people could click on what they're interested in, and it will.
So can we get rid of the text then?
So we can get rid of that. So here, edit gallery, filter bar, turn it off.
Brilliant.
Oh, no, it hasn't turned it off, has it? Oh yeah, then you've got text.
Still got a new gallery there.
Oh
look, it's got a name. It's called itself New Gallery. Can you just delete the where it says?
Why is that? It's the same one, is it? I don't know if you use a different gallery. Are there 2 galleries on here? Basic gallery and gallery. Yeah, you've used a different.
Okay.
So this one. Content, padding, filter bar. Yeah. Basically, under this galleries here, so you can add multiple galleries, and you can give each one a title. So you've given it a title. You don't need a title. Remove the title, and that will go.
Makes sense.
So the filter bar is quite quite helpful. You know, if you've got loads of images and you want people to be able to, you know, maybe you've got different venues in there or something like that. But I'm sure you could come up with a use for that at some point. Cool. Moving on then.
So look, now that's gone. That one's not wide again now. Look. Oh.
I didn't click update, so obviously
okay.
Click update. Let it finish whirring. Yeah, I'm just a bit mindful that I'm making changes to your site.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But there you go. It's done.
Cool.
It's looking pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting there.
Anything else on the sort of gallery page, or?
Well, there is a random question, but if
Yeah.
you don't mind me jumping into it, so in between where I've literally written, I want add a stripe. I just want a colour block there. Let's see, add a stripe block of colour, just literally a stripe across the page. But is that what when you were showing me how the columns and intersections worked, and you added the colour, would that be okay to just leave that colour as a stripe on the page?
You could do, but the thing with a section is if it's empty, then it's not going to actually show on the front end. So you'd need to put something in it. But there's a couple of ways of doing that. So I'll show you very quickly. So first of all, you've got a divider. Well, so you've got a section here. Add a stripe. Okay, so let's just make sure it's full width. Okay, so yeah, now that's full width. In there, oh, you've done it. You put a spacer in there. So that's cool. So change the color of your section. Obviously, click on the handle, click on the style, give it a color.
Okay.
That lovely green there. I'm sure you appreciate that. We'll get rid of this bit of text and an update. And then on the front end, you've got a green bar.
Right, and then I could just write, want to know more, click here kind of thing, and put a little button in it, yeah? Get rid of that, tell me more.
Yeah, totally. You could totally, you could do that.
Okay, cool. That's fine. No worries. I can do that.
Obviously, I can see you've had a play here. You've got a divider. But yeah, you can drop that divider in there. You can drop that button in there.
Yeah.
And then you could probably get rid of that there if you wanted.
Yeah. All right, cool. That's fine. I can have a play with that.
Brilliant. Okay, right. Anything else on that page, or?
No, I think it's fine for now.
Okay, right. Okay. So pricing page. You asked me about the pricing page. Let's click on there. Okay, so right, obviously there's a few different ways you can make these price boxes. So if we just click on edit with Elementor, so what you're saying about is the gap. You've got the gap between the heading and the price.
I didn't have any control over it. It was frustrating me. I'd like the price to be right underneath the deluxe, but see the gap that's there. Look, I couldn't control that gap. It was just annoying me that I had no control over it really.
So what it is you've chosen an image box. Okay, so that gap there is for that image.
Right.
So you probably chose the wrong, unless you want to use an image, you probably chose the wrong thing to use.
Can you just scroll up for me a sec? Just scroll up. Okay, yeah, then that's fine. I'll use an image. I quite like it that way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can delete those 4 images that are along the top.
Oh, yeah.
And then, because I only put them in there as headers, so I think I remember doing that. And I think I couldn't remember where the photos were before, so I added my own at the top. But I think it looks better with them portrait anyway.
Yeah, let's where's that one then? Here, is it? Is that one?
Next one, yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, so that's going to look pretty cool, isn't it? So obviously you've got this margin here of 70. So if we whip that off, that'll go full width then. Okay. And then
so it's just margins and stuff that I need to have a play with, isn't it? That was going to give me the finesse of control that I'm looking for now, isn't it?
It is. It really is, isn't it? It's really going to allow you to do exactly what you want.
Okay.
So yeah, obviously with these kind of boxes like this, if you did just want to have like a title and some text, you could literally create your section and you could literally just create that from a heading, you know, and then add a text box, and then I think that's what I did. You can add your elements like that, and then you've got a lot more granular control. You know, you can be a lot more precise in what you're trying to do. But yeah, no, cool. Anything else on there then, or was that kind of
No,
answered
that's
that?
great. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I can finish that one off easy.
Okay, so right, cool to global. Okay, global templates and stuff.
Yeah, so my global template is 3 rows. Is 3 columns. Sorry.
Okie dokie. So
and when I add it, it doesn't add. So that's it there. That's my call to act. They're my call to actions I wanted to have on each page, but with a different picture in each one.
Okay, so there's a few things here then. So first of all, I think you got section templates and global templates or global widgets. Okay, so section template, you can create a section template out of any section. Okay, right. and then it becomes a template that you can insert onto any page or any other section on your website. Okay,
right.
And then you can edit that section as you like on a per on each place that you put it, you can edit it as you like. A global template or global widget, okay, is one that you set, you can't edit on a page. Okay, so let's say if you've got the call to action, you use it as a global template, you drop it in on every page, and then say you want to change the text, you can edit the global template and it will change the text on every instance across the site instantly. Okay, so the section template is like a starting point, and then the global template, and also with the global templates, you can include them in via short codes. Okay, so you can include them in things like tabs. You can include them in any widgetized area on the website, i.e. the footer. So you can create a global template for your footer area. So let's have a quick look how what you've done. So if we go to edit with Elementor. So this is right. The problem here is this is 2 sections. So if you've saved this as template, it's only saved the pictures.
Okay.
You need to what you need to do is you need to add your section, your outer section, and then build your layout by adding an inner section, and then another inner section, and if you needed to, another inner section. Then sort out your columns. So let's say we only want 1 there, and we want 3 there, and then say we want 2 there. Okay, and then it's just allowing us to make quite a complicated layout. And then you'd make sure that you go to the outer section, right click that, save as template. So I think what you've done is I think you've just you haven't nested your sections basically.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Can I just ask, with that actual call to action, as I'm calling it, is it fit for purpose? Do you have any advice on that? Is that? I just wanted it to be a bit simple. Yeah.
I mean, inquire about a couple's shoot, check my availability, get in touch to chat. Yeah, I like that. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
And I thought I would just have that on most pages, not all the pages, but most pages with a different picture in it.
The only kind of thing I would say is I like the call to actions to have like some sort of visual dominance, right? So that the eye's drawn to it, so that it's more likely to somebody to click on it and to take it. So in this section, does it actually have that visual dominance? I'm not sure if it does because of the images. So I don't know whether maybe I might have the button over the top of the image or something like that, with the image slightly faded out or something. You know, it's difficult, isn't it? You know, using images. And as a photographer, you're going to have to, you know, that's something you're going to have to figure out, isn't it? Because obviously you want your images to be the most important thing, but then, or do you? You know, because you want people to act, don't you?
If you go to about CJ, I think it is. That one down there I've tried. What do you think of that one? Is that better? It obviously needs to be tidied up, but the book a couple, shoot, and take the cost off your wedding photography.
Okay, cool. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, I quite like that because it's that image is kind of drawing the eye to that whole box, isn't it? You know.
I just don't know where to put it. I'm really struggling with the call to actions. I just don't know where to put them and how simple or not simple to make them, you know.
Well, okay, so how simple to make them? So, like, I believe that the simpler things are, the more people can understand them.
Yeah, I do, but then it's really hard trying to figure out how to say what I'm trying to say, which is book a shoot, take the money off your photography. Like, it's really hard to explain it in a couple of words. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but yeah. So you need somewhere that explains that whole thing, like.
I know, right?
You know, so why don't you have something like how to work with me or ready to work me? Click here, kind of thing, and then that can take them to a contact form, and on that contact form you could explain very simple steps. Do this, bang, 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 bang. So that's something I like putting on websites. You know, is like you know, how to order. 4 simple steps to order your product. 1, do this. 2, do that. 3, do that. Finally, do that. You know, and I think that that's something that you know, the easier things are explained, then the more people are going to engage with it, the more people are going to take action.
No worries. I've got a couple of ideas actually. That's fine.
So that,
no,
yeah, have
sense.
a think about that. That could work. I don't know where your things disappeared.
Yeah.
It does seem to be a bit glitchy today, and you know, like I said earlier, that 5.5 update, I don't know if it's caused problems with Elementor. It could do.
Yeah. I'm not massively attached to that page anyway, so I don't really mind.
No.
Okay. So how do I change the text in the size of the font in the
blog
testimonial? Look, this woman, but make it so that it changes all of them that I'm going to use. Do you know what I mean?
All of the testimonials. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't have to go into each one. So I was going to add loads on the what folks say page as well. I'm going to add loads. Oh, well then I suppose I could cut and paste the style, couldn't I? Anyway, exactly
that. Yeah. That's exactly what you're going to do. And you can cut and paste across pages as well. So
yeah, great.
Yeah, that's it really. I think you answered your own question there. But it's, you know, it's literally on every element. You know, you click on the handle. You've got content, style, advanced. The content, as it says, is the content. The style is the style. So under there you've got colours and typography. So you're going to select typography, and you're going to select your size here to something suitable, kind of thing.
Yeah, I want it the same size as the rest of the text on the page. I can't remember what that was. I think it was 18, was it?
Yeah, so let's have a look. So this one here seems a bit smaller than 18. Oh no, it's not, is it? They're both on default. That's strange, isn't it? Why is that?
Yeah, I did assume that they would come out the same. I thought maybe because I'm using I don't know what I thought. So
I don't know what browser you use, but obviously, like, I've been doing web design for like 18 years. So back in the day, I used to code like HTML, CSS, all that.
Yeah.
So I use a browser called Chrome, and Chrome's got developer tools. So if I right click on an element, I can inspect any web page.
Yeah, I use Chrome as well.
Okay, great. So that will open up the code, and then we can look for sort of problems in there. So on the left-hand side, this is all the HTML that creates your page. And on the right-hand side, at the moment, we've got the styles browser. So I can go on any bit of text, inspect, okay, and then see font size 1.3 EM. Okay, so this is the font size here. But then if I look at this text here, inspect element, we can see that's 1.6 EM, entry content. 1.6, what is
it? It's weird, isn't it?
Oh no, that's the space, that's the margin. There's the text. P1.6.
Oh yeah, font. Oh no.
Inherit fonts way. Yeah, I don't know why the testimonial is a different size. In fact, let's have a quick look. Position align.
It's weird. It's got a mind of its own.
It has got a mind of its own, but yeah. But anyway, you can play around with that to sort it out. And
Yeah.
I think the thing is, you can get kind of lost in all the different settings and all the rest of it. So it's just making sure, it's just knowing what's actually got control of the style, of the typography. So you can control the typography on an element basis, element by element basis, obviously, as we've just shown. But you can also do it from Elementor, from the Elementor settings, or from the page builder settings.
Yeah, I understand it.
So yeah, let's just have a quick dashboard. I'm pretty sure we set it so that it was we were using the page builder, not the page builder, the theme. We set it to the theme. So if we go to Elementor settings, general, disable default colors, disable default fonts. Yeah, okay. So we are managing it from the theme. So appearance themes, customize. Under global, we've got typography, base typography. Yeah, should be on 18. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. Something's overriding that.
Sure, not to worry.
I'll have a look when we jump offline and see if I can find out what it is.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So I'm not sure with the global templates. Let me just show you about those actually, just so you know. Let's close all this. Okay, so with the global templates, if we go to the dashboard and then we go to templates, is it under theme builder? No, save templates, global widget. Okay, so from here we can add a new global widget. Okay, which I think you've added some. Yes, you got your call to action here.
Yeah, we can delete. I could be deleting that, starting that again. I know what I'm doing now. It's fine.
Yeah. The thing with the global ones, do you know a page that's actually found on? Do you know where that is?
Yeah, it's on the chat to CJ.
Chat to CJ.
Oh no, it's not. It's on. No, I don't know where that is actually. Can't remember.
Is it this one?
No, it's not. It's the one with 3 photos that we said wasn't that great. I can't remember where it is.
So with the global templates, to get it on a page, if we go to edit with Elementor, so with a global template, we add that from the top left here. So you've got elements and then you've got global. So here's all of the ones we've got global elements. Yeah. And obviously with the template section, the section template, you add that thing in here, add template. Right. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Slightly different. Right. I just wanted to show you very quickly. You've got your 3 times call to action. Let's add that to the page.
No, that's the one that's not going to work because it's just I've just done the photographs.
I'm on a call, bud, please. It doesn't matter how long. Go away. Thank you, Jack. Please. Yeah. Okay. So basically, I just want to show you this very quickly. Okay. So this is how you edit. So you can go into here. You can edit your global widget, but you have to go from here for some reason. But also you can unlink it, and if you unlink it, it means it's no longer global, and you can do it the same as the section templates. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Okay. So I think that's that. Setting up links, behavior of buttons, call to action, etc. That was a question.
Yeah. So. I guess if you go to well, this one, I guess, where it says inquire now, you did briefly show me it, or the tell me more button I've got, I guess, any one of them. Yeah, how do I control?
How do you sort of link it up or whatever?
Yeah, to where it goes and what it does, because I got a bit confused with that, whether I just want an email.
So the simple thing is, if you want to put your link to chat to CJ, let's just visit that page on the front end. Just go and double click in your address bar, right click, copy. You've got the URL when you copy and paste now. And now you can go to your button. Is there a button on here? Well, we'll have one if there's not.
Halfway through. Oh, yeah, no, it's not on that page. The wedding one there is.
Let's add a button. So if we go to elements, button, drag and drop our button into here, for instance. There's your button. It's open up the button dialog. So you've got your text. So you've got the different types, okay? Well, actually, you can set it so you've got some default styles under these. So info, success, warning, danger. They can all have a predetermined style, which you can see they have here. But yeah, I don't typically use that. You've then got your text you're going to enter in here. So chat to CJ, and then your link in here, literally just going to paste your URL like that. Okay, you've got that in there. You've got link options here. If you click on that, open in new window and add no follow. If you were linking to somebody else's website, okay, you might want it to open in a new window so that yours remained open underneath. So somebody went and had a look at a venue, say, then they close it, then they're back at your site, okay? Because if you don't do that, if they click off and they go to another venue site, they click a few pages on the wedding site, they might not come back to yours, right? And then add no follow. Basically, no follow is saying to Google, the Google spider, the Google algorithm, not to follow this link, okay? To add that you don't want to transfer any of the power of your page, any of the authority of your page to the link, basically, okay? And then custom attributes, you don't really need to know about that at the moment. The alignment, that's self-explanatory. The size, yeah, that's self-explanatory. If you want to add an icon, you can do that. There's a load of icons that are in the library by default, so you can quite easily add an icon if you want to do that. That's fine. And obviously the position of that icon, whether it's before or after the label, and the spacing of the icon, the gap between the label and the icon. Style, obviously typography, shadows, background color, foreground color. I take it you've played around with this.
Yeah, I have done, yeah. So what if I wanted that chat to CJ to open an email, send an email? Or is that not a good idea? Would I be better off always using the chat to CJ contact form, would I?
Yeah, I like to make it as easy as possible for people. So I'll always use a form, but you could just type in mail to : and then your email address, and that will turn it into, let's just quickly check. So it's mail to : email address, update that, and then if we preview that, that should open the emails, yeah? And that has, I don't know if you can see that on there, but it's opened my emails. You can do that, that's fine. The only thing is, does everybody use an email client nowadays? Because if they don't on the computer, then it's not actually going to do anything. So personally, I always link it to a form.
Okay.
Personal preference. Anything else? I don't think there's anything else you need to know on there, really. You've got this little icon on the right hand side here, which is an illustration of like a database. It's dynamic tags. If you click on that, you can actually dynamically populate a button with a post URL, archive URL, site URL, internal URL. So you can click on that, and then that will, if you've selected internal URL, and then if you click on it again, and then you can choose content, and then you can actually go and find your page that way. But it's a little bit long-winded. You have to know the names of your pages off the top of your head, kind of thing. So I just find it easier to copy and paste the link in there. But you could explore that dynamic dynamic use of the URL if you wanted. So yeah, does that cover everything you needed to know about the links and behaviour of buttons? Yeah. And you've worked out how to do like a rollover of style on the button, have you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I've had to play with the stuff that I can see. I can just press and play with. It's just the stuff that isn't intuitive, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. Some of it's a bit hidden, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's all of the Elementor kind of stuff that you asked me about
Okay.
then.
Yeah.
So then a question you asked was, what do all the headings refer to under customizing typography? So I take it that was on the
in the menu. And then yeah, dashboard. Yeah.
Okay, so that was under the theme settings, yeah. So appearance, customize.
Yeah, I think so. And then I think it was the headings, or what was there? And there was loads of them. There was like 8 of them or something. I think. Can't remember now.
Yeah. So it's the header tags H1, H2, H3, etc. So if we go, was it under global typography headings?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And there was quite a few of them on there. I was trying to work out why there's so many of them.
Yeah, so basically, okay, so
did you add them, or are they always there, I guess?
Yeah, they're always there. They're always there.
Okay.
And what it is, very quickly, and we'll just go to Elementor to show you how it outputs. So basically, header tags, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. These are indicators to Google as to what your content is about, okay? So H1 is saying this page or this bit of content is really about this, okay? H2 is supporting content. So you might have H1 wedding photography, right? That's telling Google your page is about wedding photography. Then you might have H2 couples photography, H2 engagement photography, yeah? And then H3 maybe like daytime photography, nighttime photography. So it's a way of splitting up your content to explain to Google what your page is about. And if we very quickly show you how you can set H1, H2, H3, etc., you can do that in Elementor with the heading element. So very quickly, heading in. Let's drop it in the top here. Okay, so we've got this heading here. And you can see under the heading dialog box, we've got the title. So what it's going to say. So wedding photography. Not like I spelled it right, but that doesn't matter. And then you've got the link there. You can link that to the page if you want. You've got the size. You can set that here if you want. And you've got the HTML tag. Okay, so what tag do you want your heading to be? So we want that to be H1 because it's the main one on the page. Or you can set it to be H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6, or you can just set it as a div or a span. Okay, so a div is just a section, is just a way of dividing content through HTML, and a span is a way of styling content. But typically, in the heading, you're going to set it to one of these: H1, H2, or H3. You should only have one H1 on a page, okay, and then the others you can have multiple of. But we'll look at that in more detail as we progress when we talk a bit more about SEO in a few weeks' time. But basically, that section under the appearance customizer is just letting you style these different header tags. Okay, so you might have H1 really big, you might have H2 less big, you might have H3 smaller still, and so on. That's does that answer that one for you?
It does. My only follow-up question is, does that mean that, like, you just added wedding photography? Should I have wedding photography somewhere on the page as a H1, or can I have, like I've already got, if you go down, I've got my heading at the moment is Kent wedding photographer. Could I?
Yeah. So just change that. So if we click that handle, you've added that as a heading, and it's come up as a H2. I'll just change that to H1.
Yeah.
And then basically, so you can go and style each element from the style tab, or you can just use it leave it as default. So if you want to leave it as default, then you can style it from the theme, basically.
So then on each page, because I'm doing a bit of text on each page, then like the top, then I guess that should be where I'm doing. That's the one on each page, kind of thing.
Yeah. And usually, it's going to match your menu item and your page title,
Okay.
And in fact, you can populate this dynamically. So again, if we click on there, if you click on this dynamic tags button here, you can actually do it to post title. So what do we call this page? Well, we call this page home. So we probably don't want to do that. We'll undo that.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Was there anything else? Was there anything else you can think of?
Not at the moment. No, I'm going to have another play. I'm going to get these. I'm going to get these call to action sorted this week. Get that my priority. And social media. I'm getting really frustrated with that, but we'll come back. That's a whole thing.
Well, just quickly, what are you getting frustrated with that on?
Well, I can't find Instagram anywhere. And Instagram is like the most important one for me.
Where are you going to put Instagram? Every page or?
No, probably on the About CJ, probably.
So Instagram, that's fine. I've got a plugin I can add.
But also just being able to find, I'd like to know how to find the plugin, because you did show me. I think there's one video which I haven't watched all the way through, which I think you did show where to go to look for plugins and stuff, but I didn't get around to that.
So basically, what you want is rather than looking for plugins from the repository, you probably just want to extend Elementor. Okay, so if you can get the elements you want in Elementor, that's going to be much easier for you. So there are absolutely loads of people who have done like Elementor add-ons. Okay, so they're all going to charge you extra. There's absolutely hundreds of them. Some of them are really going to affect the performance of the website and slow it down. I have got loads of them that I've got developer licenses for. I have got one that's got the Instagram element. The only thing with that is that you've got to set up Facebook developer ID, you've got to set up Instagram developer account as well. We can do that, that's no problem. It's just a little bit timely to do it. It takes a little bit of time to do it, but we can definitely do that. It's no problem. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Let's do that. Let's do that one week.
Yeah, I think we'll do. What I'll do is I'll go through, tidy it all up, do all my columns and the spaces.
Put a section for it where you want it, and just put in there a big bit of text that says Instagram, and make it really
exactly
big.
What I was going to say, and also just the little icons of Twitter, of all the ones that I've found with social media. They've got like Twitter and Pinterest, and I don't want all them. I just want Facebook me and Facebook page and Instagram.
Do you know what? We looked at that the other week, didn't we? And I thought afterwards, you know what? There's a much better way. I don't know why I didn't show you the better way. So just very quickly, very quickly. We've got some columns in here, so let's go icon, add an icon. We're going to drop an icon in there. Okay, what icon do we want? We want the Facebook icon, so we're going to select the Facebook icon and insert that in there.
Yeah,
go to Facebook.
That's all I want. Just really simple. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought afterwards. I don't know why I showed you that really clunky way of doing it. So add your link in there, and
that's fine.
Update. We've now got a link to Facebook, and it took us 10 seconds.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. I just want it really simple. I just want Facebook me and Facebook Swinky and Instagram Swinky and Instagram me, but I need to figure out how to show what each of them is as well. So that's fine. I'll mess around with it.
Awesome. Great. Okay, so shall I stop sharing?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
You good?
Happy? Yeah, happy. Thanks. I'm getting there. It's not getting there as quick as I'd wanted, but then I always say that about everything.
So the honest truth is, like, things take time, don't they? You know, and
exactly.
You know, like it just takes time, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm just really keen to get it. You know, I want to get to the SEO and the Google ads and the analytics and all that stuff. I want to get there, but obviously we can't do that in a rush. So
no, and you know, if it takes us a few more weeks to get this perfect, then that's best, isn't it? But I don't think it's far off. Like, I think it's looking really good. Like, you've come on leaps and bounds, like, really, and it's looking better than your other site, isn't it?
Yeah, it is much better. Much happier with it.
You're not far off being ready to move to it. I think.
Yeah. No, I don't think so either. Yeah. I just need to be able to put, I mean, obviously I lost a week because I couldn't put any time into it, that one where we missed one, but hopefully, and probably won't even this week actually, because we're going away to Alton Towers on Thursday. So I'll try on Wednesday. I'll try on Tuesday to put some hours in to make up for that. But that's obviously the difficulty as well, is finding the time for me to sit, because I need to sit for a while and really play with it. It's not just a quick hour here or there, you know.
The other thing is to remember, like, you're not looking for perfection. You know, you're looking for what is the minimum viable product, right? So what can you get out that's better than your existing site, that's going to serve you better, that's enough to be going on with, you know. So some of the things, like, you know, like the Instagram feed, you know, you could launch and add that afterwards, couldn't you? You know?
True.
So mate, why don't you have a little think about that, and have a look at your site and think, right, what do I need to do to get it to launch as a minimum?
Okay.
And then we can do that, get it launched, and then we can improve
the other
it.
bit. Yeah, all right, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah,
wicked.
fabulous.
Okay.